My name is Tan Kin Lian. I want to give my views about Budget 2018. The hot topic for this budget is, will GST be increased from 7% to 8%, 9% or 10%? The Finance Minister, Heng Swee Keat, has announced that it will be increased to 9%, but it will be implemented in 3 to 7 years' time. Why the delay? There was an unexpected budget surplus of $9.6 billion. Unexpected? Has the Finance Minister been asleep? He doesn't know what is happening in the finances of the country. Many people say, don't increase GST, keep it at 7%. Well, I disagree. I say, don't keep it at 7%. Don't reduce GST to 5% or to 3%. Don't increase GST either. GST should be 0%. Kosong. Ling. GST should be abolish. Menghapus. 取消. Now what happens when we abolish GST? The cost of living will come down by up to 10%. 7% is from GST. Another 2 to 3% is from the cost of administering GST. For business to collect GST, to account for GST, to pay to the government. This is cost incurred by business, but you can be sure it is added to the cost paid by consumers. Each year, after working hard, our workers get an average wage increase of 2%. They need to work hard for 5 years to get a 10% increase in wages. If the cost of living can drop by 10%, it is the same as 5 long years of hard work. GST contribute $11 billion to the budget. Where can we replace the 11 billion? I say we do not need to replace the 11 billion. We already collect 20 billion from sale of land a year. This is my estimate because these figures are not published. Now, if we count land sale, which is standard IMF accounting, International Monetary Fund, we still have a surplus of 9 billion after abolishing GST. Someone said, land sale is a capital item. We cannot count capital item in the budget. Really? The budget for Ministry of Transport is $14 billion. A large part is for the high-speed rail to Kuala Lumpur and MRT lines. These are also capital items, right? If we take them away, our expenditure will drop by maybe all of the GST, 11 billion. Some people say GST is a good tax. They give 3 reasons. GST is a tax on spending. If you don't spend, you do not pay GST. Taxi drivers, hawkers and self-employed don't pay income tax. They have to pay GST. All advanced countries have GST, so it must be a good tax. Let me debunk them. First, GST is a tax on spending. People have to eat, right? They pay GST on food. People fall sick, right? They pay GST on medicine and doctor's fees. People need water, right? They pay GST on water on top of a water tax. You mean to say they don't need to spend, they can save on GST? Let me debunk. We want taxi drivers, hawkers and self-employed to contribute to tax through GST. We know taxi drivers and hawkers already pay high rental on their taxis and stalls. After working 10 to 12 hours, they only earn a small income after paying their rental. The government can collect tax on the rental charges. They don't need to collect them on these taxi drivers and hawkers. The third reason, all advanced countries have GST. That's true. But do these countries have COE, Foreign Workers Levy, and Sale of Land? Singapore collects 7 billion on COE, 3 billion on Foreign Workers Levy, 20 billion on sale of land. That's a total of 30 billion. This is an estimate. So do we need to collect GST of 11 billion when we already have 30 billion of revenue that other countries don't have? The finance minister said he wants to foster a caring and cohesive society. That means he needs more revenue. How much does he really spend on the needs of the elderly and the needy? Let us wait and see. He may not be spending all that much. If he really spends a lot and runs into a deficit, there are other expenses that can be reduced. Do we need such a large defense budget? Do we need to spend so much money on infrastructure? Can we be more prudent? If we really run into a deficit after being prudent, we still don't need to get revenue from GST. We can increase income tax on the very rich people. We do not need to have the lowest income tax rate in the world. The finance minister wants to foster an innovative and vibrant economy. Hey, I have heard that before. Lee Hsien Loong was finance minister from 2001 to 7. Taman was finance minister from 2007 to 15. Heng Swee Keat was finance minister from 2015 to now. Every year for nearly 20 years, the finance minister talked about the need for a vibrant, innovative, and competitive economy. 2 years ago, PM Lee said the government will commit 19 billion to a new 5-year plan for R&D initiatives. It will include Smart Nation and Skills Future. 19 billion is not all. We have to count the money on the productivity and innovation credit, the money put into various research funds. So our expenditure is more than 19 billion. Let us look at how well we perform in the Global Innovation Index. This is published yearly and is followed by most countries. According to this index, on the Innovation Index, Switzerland ranked first, USA ranked fourth, Singapore ranked 7th. Not bad, 7 out of 127 countries. China ranked 22. However, the index also produced the efficiency ratio, and that is how much you spend compared with how much you get back. On this efficiency ratio, Singapore ranked 63, right in the middle. Switzerland ranked 2nd, China ranked 3rd. Yes, we do spend a lot of money on innovation, but we do not get back much in return. We are inefficient and wasteful. GST was introduced in the late 1980s. Before that, we were competitive, we were efficient. Over the last 30 years, we became costly, inefficient, wasteful, uncompetitive. We are now the most expensive city in the world. GST is not the only reason, but it is an important cause of our decline. Conclusion: we need to change our economic strategy. We need to bring back the values of our first finance minister, Dr. Goh Keng Swee. We have to start by abolishing GST. We have to introduce prudency in our government spending. We owe it to our children, grandchildren, and to the future of Singapore. Thank you.